Hello, my name is John. This video introduces the DeviHealth kit. The DeviHealth kit can be seen in this suitcase. It consists of a instrument stand that can be precision leveled, some O-rings, which we will talk about later, and there exists a quick guide for conducting the procedure. DeviHealth is used or offers the user the possibility to do a health check of the DeviGyro instrument in the field. So it's a calibration check, and it issues a report for the instrument after the check. These are the parts that you need to do a health check of the DeviGyro. Here you have the instrument stand, the DeviHealth instrument stand. In the middle, the instrument that we want to check the health condition of, and here we have an Android phone with the DeviHealth application installed. The health check is performed in the instrument stand, and the Android application guides you through the steps. It does ask you to put the instrument in various orientations and also rotations, so it's in order to do a short repetition of what the inclination, tool face and heading angles are for this instrument. So the DeviGyro, when lying down like this, its heading is along this direction. So the azimuth direction is in the direction of where the antenna is pointing. The tool face of the instrument is changed when you rotate the instrument, and a positive change of tool face angles happens when you rotate the instrument in a clockwise direction from this perspective. Inclination angles are positive upwards and negative downwards. So, with this in mind, we can start the test, and I advise that you start the test by actually connecting the instrument to the phone. Here you see the DeviHealth application. It's searching for a tool, and you simply connect by activating the instrument. Very similar to the DeviGyro app. Once the connection is made, we proceed to start the test. I press start. Here I get some information. I'm going to accept that for now, all of it. And I'm taken to a page where I need to provide the latitude. So that is the latitude where I'm doing the test. In order to do that, I press the upper right cogwheel here. I press locate, and the GPS gives me the latitude. And now I press start. What happens at this point is that the instrument is abandoning the Bluetooth connection with the phone, and it starts to log data. And it does that even before we are ready with the instrument stand. The benefit of that is that during this period, while we put the instrument stand in the correct orientation and level it, is that the DeviGyro gets past the electronics warm-up phase. So you have a better chance of getting a good test result. So now we turn to orientation and leveling of the instrument stand. And the instrument stand has many grooves corresponding to positions for the instrument. You can put the instrument in various positions, as you see. In order to put the instrument stand in the correct orientation, observe that there is a groove for vertical positions for the instrument, and you can start off by having the instrument stand such that the groove for the vertical position points to your left, slightly towards you and to your left. And then you put the instrument in the 0 inclination groove with the antenna facing away from you. and then you simply turn the rig to the point that the instrument is pointing towards true north. When you have that position, you can then level up the rig such that it's completely leveled. You do that by adjusting the leveling screws, and inside here there is a level, and when you have the bubble completely centered, you are ready to start the test. The same goes for the heading of the rig. Of course, the more accurate you know this direction, the better. You do not need to know it by decimal degrees, or it doesn't need to point towards north with the decimal degree accuracy, but the more accurate, the better. That's the rule. So now I am in this position. I'm in the starting position, and we'll just walk through the app. So the first thing I'm going to do is a so-called survey check. And the screen looks like this. It tells me that the first mark shall be taken with inclination 0, azimuth 0, and toolface 0. Toolface 0 is when the antenna flat is pointing up. So at this point I can take the mark. It's very important that the table or the surface where you do this test needs to be stable, not subject to vibrations, and not such that when somebody bumps into nearby furniture or so that this affects the test. It needs to be completely still. So assuming I have all that ready, I can start the test, and I take my first mark. And it requires complete rest during the marks, and then it's going to tell me once it's happy to move to the next position. So I turn the instrument extremely carefully. The handling is very important. And then I adjust so that I still try to maintain 0 toolface, and then I take the mark. I proceed in this fashion all the way until the app tells me to do otherwise. So now I am in a direction of 180 degrees azimuth, so the instrument is pointing south. And at that point the app tells me that I'm going to maintain the same azimuth but change the toolface to 90 degrees. Like that. And then I take the mark. Then I keep moving. So when I've made it all the way back to the initial starting azimuth, 0, I am asked to put the instrument in a vertical position, and that's when you use this vertical groove. So I'm going to pull out this large O-ring, it's a rubber band, and carefully slide the instrument down into the groove. And now it's in the vertical position of plus 90 degrees. And then I'm asked to turn it in the opposite vertical direction. So I change it and observe that I turn things very slowly. And I take the final mark of the survey check. Now the app tells me to continue to the next part of the check, which is a so-called oscillation check, and I'm going to do that. and it tells me what to do. So I'm going to go back to the 0 tool phase, 0 inclination, 0 azimuth position. And during this test, the instrument will be always pointing in the 0 azimuth position, but we will only be changing the tool face of the instrument. So I start with 0 tool face, take the first mark, and then I'm asked to go in steps of 45 degrees. And this you do just by eye. So you look at the flat of the antenna, you turn it to the best of your ability to approximately 45 degrees, and you take a mark. And you continue like that all the way around. And then DeviHealth proceeds to suggest to do the final test, which is called a drift check of the instrument, and during that time the gyro just remains in this position for roughly 10 minutes. So it needs to be just completely still. And you simply press start. And during this time the instrument is just logging. Once it's done, it's going to the Android application is going to ask you to connect to the instrument and download the data. We will look at the report that you get from the health check. In case of a successful test, the report pops up after download, and it shows with the green colors. You have the ability to export the report via the export option down to the left in the app. In case of a failed test, you will see the test report coming up with the red colors. The application will describe to you what it has found in terms of what causes the test to fail, and it also gives you suggestions on what to do in order to avoid the test to fail. Most likely the test fails because of the handling of the instrument between the various positions, or because you're doing the test on a surface which is not stable. So in almost all cases you can get a good test simply by careful handling and careful selection of where you do the test. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.